What is up, my guys? We are back. This is the Juice Box with episode 162. If you are a returning guest and listener, as always, we appreciate you. If this is your first time here, make sure to like and subscribe. As you can see, JT looks a little different. He went on vacation, came back. You know, he got some sun. Might have ate a little too much Italian, you know what I mean? And thicked up a little bit. But other than that, boys, how we doing? Harold, Czar, what's up?
It's good to be here.
It's
been
good.
a while.
Yeah.
It's good to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so
Appreciate it.
I guess we'll just dive in. How was your New Year's? Do you have any New Year's resolution thing? I mean, I know like every year, kind of like me and him talked about last week, every year there's like the certain things, but is there anything you're actually going to try to do?
Well, this is the first time I'm ever doing dry January.
How's that going?
It's easy.
So easy.
It's very. I mean,
Easiest.
I've had a.
It's very easy. It's going very successfully.
I've had a couple urges, but it's like it's more of like a social urge. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's not like a I'm sitting at home and I'm like jonesing for a beer. It's nothing like that. So yeah, I told myself, you know, once we were like a week before Christmas, like my work office just kept getting like all these like boxes of fucking cookies and shit delivered like from vendors and stuff. So I was just like, okay, I'm off my diet now. I was like, I'll start it once the new year starts. So those basically my only two things.
Yeah, so my dad says the same thing. He's like, you try to eat healthy and like you can, and then you go to work and there's just so much stuff.
Dude, it's ridiculous. It's like all this shit kept arriving, and I was like still like doing my intermittent fasting. Like I wasn't starting to eat till like 11 every day, and like I eventually just broke.
Yeah,
I was like, everyone around me is just eating cookies, donuts, fucking brownies, fucking chocolates. I was just like, whatever. Well, we'll reconvene after the new year. That's what I said. So,
Sith, hello.
Hi. I would to your point. I think it's really easy to just like quit your job, don't have money to eat, then you don't eat, then you just lose weight, and then you're balling. You know, you get look good. I'm just
feel
kidding.
that.
Don't act
if I could live the college lifestyle again, I'm sure I'd be like down 25 pounds.
Dude, me and Jake were talking about it. We were eating like one meal a day, and like that was like all you needed. And then you're walking around everywhere. And
Yeah, it was like more like a meal and a half.
yeah,
You'd get like here's what I did. Crazily enough, it worked. Like they always say that like weed gives you the munchies, but it's also good at like curbing your hunger. Anytime I'd start to get hungry, like early in the days, I'd just smoke a bowl.
Which is so like because I know that's true. But it's never worked for me.
Really?
Like honestly, and I know like everybody's different for sure. And like there's I don't want to say his name, but there's one kid that I can think of that went to Central that used to be bigger and then like lost a lot of weight.
Okay.
And everybody was like, it's because he smokes.
Pretty sure I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone's like, because he smokes his I can't even remember his last name to give initials. I just know his first name started with a J.
Okay.
Jack Sparrow.
No. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's like for me, that's my biggest kryptonite is the eating thing.
Yeah.
And it's if I'm doing something, I don't have it. It's when I'm, sitting there 8 o'clock getting ready to go to bed, and then all of a sudden I'm like, fucking Cold Stones on DoorDash. And then I'm like, shit.
Probably for $30.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, but spend it, dude. Spending when you're in that state. Just
it doesn't matter.
exist.
Yeah.
Dude, like speaking of DoorDash, so I have a work phone, right? And
2 phones, huh?
I got 2 phones.
I start calling you Kevin.
So I had the first number I had it for like a year and a half, work phone, right? Well, like I was getting spammed horribly, like every day with like subscription services, like all this stuff that the person that had my number before me like had signed up for. To the point where like I was blocking so many numbers, like I eventually just like broke. Went to my boss, I was like, look, can I get a new number on this phone? Like I can't take it anymore. So we got a new number. Everything's been cool. And now in the last 2 to 3 days, I'm getting all these texts from DoorDash saying like, your dasher is arriving. Your dasher's arriving. And then they'll send me the picture of the fucking meal that they left on the porch. So yesterday I texted back and was like, I'm not ordering DoorDash. He's like, is this Matt? I was like, no. But the crazy thing is, this Matt guy, and he's from Wheeling, because like I zoom in on the pictures, it's like he's gotten Figueretti's, Elm Grove subs,
Jesus.
fucking Jimmy John. I'm like, so this
Let's guess,
person
probably a surgeon or
this
something.
person eats all their fucking meals off DoorDash. That's what was mind blowing the most to me.
Yeah.
I was like, this motherfucker has DoorDash 3 times today.
Which it's easily. Wait, 3 times in a day?
Yes.
No, you're right. He's got to be a surgeon.
Yeah.
What if
I
his
was like,
name is-
who
That-
does
That's
that?
$100 and some dollars right there.
what if
Exactly.
Hey, Figueretti's
Just
that
for
last time I
that
got, yeah, it was like $32 at least.
I'm
Once in
just-
a while, but I don't care. Once in a while, it's awesome. But
Yeah, I mean, everyone DoorDash is like a meal like that once in a while.
We should guess Matt's weight. How much do you think Matt weighs? He's probably
gotta
like
be up there,
300
dude.
pounds,
Well,
dude.
no. Well, you gotta count for how much like money he has.
He's clearly not
Yeah.
calorie counting.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, he could be one of these guys that doesn't have to, which makes
Right,
me
it's
even more
true. He
what
jealous.
if, what if
he-
Matt's a listener?
Dude,
we
it-
should
I
probably
hope
just
he
embarrass
is.
the
I
shit out
hope
of
he
Matt.
is.
well, if Matt's a listener, come on the pod.
Yeah.
We'd love to talk to you. We want to know why you don't switch your DoorDash.
But you
settings
have
around.
to DoorDash if he comes on.
I'm in.
Yeah, he's getting something.
Yeah,
But it was funny. Then the final response I got from the guy was, he said, "You might want to contact customer service. I'm just a driver."
Solid
I
answer.
want to be like, that's fair.
That's a
That's
fair,
fair.
fucking answer.
I mean, there's nothing more American than just throwing up the totem pole. I mean,
Right.
because everyone does that, no matter where you are in the company. Like, I don't know, I'm just Joe.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
Imagine
call
me,
him boss.
imagine being the person that actually has to answer
Yeah.
all these calls. Yeah.
The head of complaints or whatever.
Does the person even exist?
No.
No, it just circles around.
Yeah. Because you can always pass the buck.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, this is Terry's.
Oh, I didn't have anything to do with that. Let me connect you over to Jim.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny. I was overhearing one of a phone call that you were on earlier this week, and I kept hearing you get to some receptionist, and every time they went to transfer you, the number just cut off, and like you called back
Oh,
and
nothing's
did it
worse.
again. And then I don't know if it happened again, but I know you ended up getting to talk to somebody. But the second to call back's the greatest because you're like, we
Yeah.
just talked and
Yeah.
I got cut off. But yeah, shout out Matt though. Shout out Matt with DoorDash.
So curious to know who Matt is, really.
Dude, Grove subs slaps.
It is good. Yeah. I haven't
don't-
had it in a fucking while.
Yeah, I don't eat
but-
it as much as I should because of being right there.
Yeah, I've never even actually been inside the physical location.
I
which
haven't
is
either.
sad.
No, me either.
Yeah, I've only
Just always-
DoorDash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brought to me.
Yeah, fuck. But yeah, I'm trying to think. What else did we talked about? New Year's Eve, New Year's resolutions. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
The Idaho murderer. Do you have any insight on the Idaho guy?
I have to admit, it wasn't. I get into those cases, like I was real into.
Gabby Patino.
Yeah. Real into that one. I got real into the Delphi murders, if you're familiar with that. The 2 eighth grade girls. It got like a lot of attention because it was unique. Like the girls had like Snapchat footage of the guy, like right before they were killed.
Oh man.
So, but they solved that one. Well, allegedly, the trial hasn't happened yet, but it took 6 years,
Damn.
and then they caught the guy, and he was just living right there in the town.
Well, that's like the whatever his name is cases until like June. I saw right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like the end of June or something.
Yeah,
What-
but once all this, like once they made the arrest of the guy, I started digging into it more because she's been all about it. It's just, the dude looks like a fucking murderer.
Yeah, he does.
Dude,
He looks like a fucking psycho.
yeah, me and Bubba were like talking about how it seemed like he literally just went to school to figure out how to do this to get away with it.
Yeah, and he must not have
He
learned
was,
much.
he was
Must not
pretty,
alert.
yeah, piss
There's a
poor
whole-
student.
There's a whole show about it. Why don't you just watch that?
Yeah, well, dude, he must have forgot the fact that, hey, dude, don't bring your cell phone.
Or the knife case and just leave that.
Yeah, I was gonna say he just
sheet,
left
whatever
the
that-
knife sheath there, which is just like that's got to be murdering 101,
Yeah.
right?
Unless that's his calling card. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just
make
like-
sure you're eating this.
Yeah.
eating this butt. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know. I always find it funny, dude. Like when you get real into cases like this, and especially if you spend time on like Reddit and stuff, like the things you hear from people, like thinking they know something about the case or like the ideas that people come up with.
Yeah,
And
it's
then like
always,
when the real stuff comes out, how off people
because it was like
were.
the one friend, right? That was like kind of a weird dude. Like
Yeah.
everyone was like, "It's that fucking guy that's
Yeah,
in the
like-
picture." And
Like all this. Remember
Just
how
some
crazy the
poor Joe
Petito
guy.
stuff was?
Patino's
Fucking
so-
Dog the Bounty Hunter
It was
got
getting out of
involved.
hand.
Like, dude, it
Yeah.
was starting to really get out of hand. But like, it just goes to show like the agencies, like the FBI and stuff, like they're on it, like immediately.
For sure.
Like he was a suspect within 24 hours.
And I saw there's, I mean, not that it has anything to do with what's going on right now, but there's a police body camera footage that just was released from the girl that's now dead back in August. And they're saying like that's one of the last times they remember like seeing her publicly on camera alive. So I don't know, man. All that kind of stuff bums me out, truthfully, because it's still like me and him were talking. It's like you wonder if the murders now. We'll use 100-year gap. Like you wonder if the murders now versus 100 years happen at the same rate. It's just getting more like public eyes on it, or if because of the social media like glorification and news cycles, it really is happening more because these people get talked about, and then psychopaths are like, oh man, what a way to get my name out there and be known.
Well, are we talking just like your everyday murders or like high profile
serial
ones,
killers?
like
Yeah.
serial killing type murders?
Like I mean more of like the Gabby Pettinos,
Yeah, like that
Idaho.
kind of. I honestly think it probably happens at less
Yeah.
of a nowadays, but like you said, like media coverage and stuff is just more prominent.
Because I just have such a hard time believing
Like,
that it happens more.
I don't think it happens more.
Yeah.
I don't think it happens more at all. Like, dude, 100 years ago, like there was more serial killers than and like back then, like there was people that were serial killers like against like certain races. You know what I mean?
you feel like that's just because like you can't get away with it anymore with like DNA. And
Yeah, I think a lot leads to that. But the one you really, really hear about is like you go back like decades, Native American girls that have gone like missing is like staggering.
That's what Wind River's about. with
It's crazy.
Jeremy Renner.
It's crazy. You're like, and it's like no one cares.
Yeah.
Like that stuff's sad.
Dude, that might be Taylor Sheridan, honest to God.
Wind
Wind
River
River.
is, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. What were you going to say,
Yeah.
sorry?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's also like you gotta think there's way more accountability today of like keeping track of people.
yeah,
And
that's a
like
good
back
point.
then, like there's people that were like not in the system or
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Could have just been like just off,
Yeah.
you know? So,
Drifters.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
were way more common back then.
I mean, it's just, I don't know if you dove into 1923 yet, but I mean, there's just murders left and right.
I'm
There's
only 2 episodes into it.
bodies left there,
Mhm.
and like, talk to sheriffs, and they're like, I've seen this, but like, there's not the public outrage of somebody being dead. It's like it was
Yeah.
just a normal, like, oh fuck, like old Timmy, he just got whacked.
Oh, yeah, it was like more. I don't want to say it was like more accepted back then, but
well,
like
I mean, it might be the right word.
I don't know if it's the right word. I just think it was more normal.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Like, it's like if you watch Boardwalk Empire, it's set at the same time, like in the early 20s. Yeah, it's just like that's just kind of how it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
People are
Easy
getting
to get
killed
away with it.
because like it was still the country was still very much in a come up era, whereas now we've kind of flattened out. Like people weren't killing each other for land and stuff nowadays. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that.
We have a process for that now.
Yeah, yeah. There's a big process for it. You're right.
Yeah, now we have dudes that'll run for political office and just make up all their. Remember what's that guy's name?
What is it? Who is it?
The guy that ran for political office and he got in and he made up all of his credentials.
Oh, yeah.
George. It's
Yeah.
just so funny. Like every this latest interview clip, they're like, I saw you got $700,000 donated to your campaign fund, and it was from you. We're just wondering if you can tell us where you got that money. And he goes, well, I can tell you where I didn't get it. China, Ukraine, Russia. It's like, and then the guy was just like, okay.
It's sad, but that's like a genius political.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, you know how many people
The
probably
USA,
like,
baby.
you know how many
That's how I
people
got
probably
it.
were like, yeah, damn right. Damn
Yeehaw,
right.
brother.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
Dude.
fuck.
I had to get blood work done yesterday at the hospital, and I witnessed a fucking lady causing a scene.
No, I've
Oh,
never
man.
seen a hospital.
Like a nut job.
In the hospital, huh?
She came out of the front doors.
She
and
get
then,
tackled?
and then no.
Oh, that's
Then
disappointing.
turned around and started berating the security. She was saying off the wall shit, like conspiracy shit. Like they want my social security number, and they sold us all off back in the 30s. We're all just pawns in this game, like all this stuff. And I'm standing there like, whoa.
It's like, lady,
I'm,
you-
That's
I'm like,
good.
get her out of here, please.
Was it OBJ? It wasn't him. No.
dude, what a bitch. He's such a
He
bitch,
stinks.
dude. And then he goes and tweets. He's like, which is his tweet is true, but I don't think it applies to this situation. He's like, it's crazy what they could do these days to edit these videos to make people look good or bad, like whatever.
Yeah,
It's like, dude, you.
it was on Photoshop. Everything we were whatever. GarageBand.
Yeah. Did you see the video?
No, I don't even know what we're talking
It was when I was watching.
You were
You don't
watching, I
know?
heard
You
it.
didn't see
Uh-uh.
I
OBJ?
didn't watch it.
about. Odell Beckham? Is that what
Yeah.
we're talking about? What happened?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he, well, I don't know the full story, but he apparently was at the club and went straight to a commercial flight, and he was like incapacitated on the flight. And so they came over multiple times and just asked him to put his fucking seatbelt on, and he just refused to. So he like, it was this big whole ordeal when he's
took
like,
off his pants.
yeah, he took off his pants at one point. He's throwing a big fit. And so instead of dragging him off the fucking plane like they would have done anybody else, they like boarded the plane, and everyone had to wait like 2 hours. So when they're all walking off, OBJ's like, I'm going to fly private, and I'll be there before you guys even get back on the plane and shit like that.
Yeah, he's like, what's wrong with this world? It's people like you that follow the rules. He's like, I'm gonna be on a private jet and I'll be back wherever. He's like, I wouldn't get off this plane for you for anything, whatever. Meanwhile, the entire plane is getting deboarded, whatever it is, because he just wouldn't put his seatbelt on. That's all. He wouldn't put his seatbelt on. He was so like fucked up. Like the lady said she came up to ask him to put the seatbelt on, and he just like blank stared into oblivion. And they had to get a cop to come on. And finally, once cops were talking to him, the cops went in the back and they were talking to the pilot and the flight attendants. And they're like, listen, this is your call here. This isn't our call. He's got his pants on. He's responding to us like, what do you want to do? Do you want us to kick him off the plane? And then they decided on literally just deboarding, and everybody on the plane had to get off because of OBJ.
I would have lost my mind.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Dude,
Like,
I would have
got nuts.
been berating him.
Oh, dude, he was literally just like everybody that walked by. He was just picking a fight. He's like, "What are you staring at?" He's like, "What are you staring at, fat ass? What are you like?" Just ripping people.
Because
I
they're on a
probably would've
plane, and they didn't
swung
want
on
like
him.
federal charges for punching him in the fucking
Yeah,
jaw.
Can't they just like put him on the no-fly list after that though? Like,
Yeah, I don't.
They
I
could.
don't understand why they like he has.
You
to
d-
be
he
treated
should
differently.
he should have to fly Spirit for the rest of his life.
have.
That should be the punishment.
That was what we decided.
I have to say, I've always hated him. He's a fucking douche.
Yeah,
he's
What-
just a douche.
And
Like, very cool catch that you
Yeah.
made one
Very
time.
cool. Yeah, dude, that's what I said last.
Tight
like-
catch, bro.
I'm like sick. He made that. He got so famous because of one catch.
All I have to say is like I've made cooler catches than that in the front yard.
And dude, what's crazy is people won't believe it, whatever. But George Pickens' catch against the Browns, like week 1, 2, or 3, was a harder
Sick.
catch than the
Oh,
OBJ
yeah.
catch was. I don't care what anybody fucking says. So yeah,
No, it wasn't.
yeah, it was, dude.
Yeah, that catch was wild.
But
I'd say Justin Jefferson's catch.
But he is a human highlight reel.
oh,
Pickens.
yeah, he
And
is.
like I know he hasn't seen a lot of targets or didn't.
He
It's
will now.
Past tense now.
Yeah,
Well, I'm hoping. I hope that they get a new coordinator, but we'll see.
I heard that's not going to happen apparently as
Yeah,
of today, but we'll see.
Andrew McCutcheon's back though.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Things are looking up in Pittsburgh.
Bucko fever.
I'm going to the home opener.
I was
tell you
just
that.
ripping. I was like, World Series, World Series, because like, You know, it's
No,
all just a
they're
ploy.
they're just gonna trade Brian Reynolds.
I
and they're
think-
gonna say, "Look, we brought back Kutch at 36 years old."
I think I mean, I'm sure maybe he reached out himself. I don't know. Well, I guess baseball players could play into their 40s.
Yeah.
But it's mostly pitchers, right? Or first baseman.
Right.
Like not a lot of.
But apparently,
other-
he did have like the same offer elsewhere, and he wanted to come back, which is cool.
Yeah,
So
I mean, he
obviously
always had
made an
really,
effort.
really positive things to say about Pittsburgh. Like even when he was leaving, like he was sad,
What's
Yeah.
up?
but he wanted to get a ring.
What's up with Pittsburgh and holding on to all these antiques in every sport all across Pittsburgh sports?
It's loyalty.
It is, bro. I
That's
mean, it
what
is
it
kind
is.
of crazy. I mean, I know Crosby. Well, Crosby's 35 though, right?
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah,
but he.
Malkin's 36, right?
Yeah.
37, 36. Yeah, he was-
36. Yeah.
I think out of all of them though, like Big Ben. I mean, I guess I can't judge Kutch, but they're probably still playing better than
like
Big Ben was, and like Kutch probably will.
Yeah.
Malkin and Crosby. I mean,
yeah, Crosby still and Malkin's playing at a point per game pace right now. They're both playing really. I think things will start, and it already has, but I think things will start to decline with Malkin before Crosby, and like I
Yeah.
said, they already have, but like they're still playing well enough to carry a team. It's just the pieces that you got to put around them that seems to kind of be the issue right now. But
yeah.
it's like, especially like in Big Ben's case, like if they would want out, then that's fine. But if they want to finish their career and retire, like you owe it to them. Especially Big Ben. That dude, I mean, like he wasn't like Tom Brady, just like drop back, throw it. Like
Yeah.
he would try to make plays, put his body on the line so much. Think of all the injuries he played through in his
Yeah.
career. Like all the fucking time.
Which I hate to make the comparison, but it's kind of what we're going through in WVU basketball right now.
Yeah, dude. And we're hitting this age where just like things are
falling apart.
changing. WVU sports, I was talking about it yesterday. As a whole, okay, not as a whole. Football and basketball is the worst it's ever been.
We are the Vanderbilt of the Big 12.
in my life.
I'm sorry.
In my lifetime, I think we're in this really weird situation. I think there's so many different factors involved in it. Like just the landscape of college sports is changing, and it's fucking weird. I try to tell people, I'm like, you don't understand, like 10, 11 years ago, like how different things were. Like
Oh,
WVU
yeah.
is making BCS bowls like at a high rate. Like we were very competitive. Basketball team went to a Final Four, multiple Elite Eight appearances. Like it's just people can't seem to understand why I like taking it so hard. It's like because I'm not used to this. Like
Yeah.
and I bleed WVU sports, and it's just like
Especially basketball these last couple years, though. Like, people would get so frustrated where, okay, we lost against Villanova in the Sweet 16. We lost against Gonzaga in the Sweet 16. There was the 1 year we lost to Kentucky when we shouldn't have even made it there. But the part that people forget in that sentence is Sweet 16. That's very fucking difficult to do.
yeah,
And now we're struggling to even make the NCAA tournament.
right.
And I, myself, I'm sure
We didn't even
you-
make the NIT last year.
No,
Mhm.
I'm sure myself,
Oh, that
you,
hurts.
I'd do anything to make it to the Sweet 16 and lose versus what's going on right now.
Yeah. It was almost like 2 seasons ago where we lost to Syracuse in the second round. Like it almost feels like now when you look back on it, that almost feels like the final dagger. We're almost like people, I don't want to say like lost faith. I don't know. But like we shouldn't have lost. We were projected to win that game.
Yeah.
We
We were the
shouldn't have
higher
lost.
seed.
And of course the team just comes out and shoots ridiculous shooting percentage, which seems to always be the storyline.
Yeah.
And we go cold or we miss free throws. But that was a good team that year and it was fun to watch. And then it was just like it disbanded, a couple guys stayed, and then they left after last year. You know, I think one of our main issues this year, at least going into Big 12 play, is like we don't have a reliable scorer.
No.
It's like, man, if we could have just kept one dude from last year and retooled with all these people, like if we could have kept what's his face, He was still he's on Ohio State now. What's his name?
McNeil.
Yeah, I don't know how he's playing this year. Haven't
He's
paid.
playing pretty good. He starts. He's a I don't want to call him a role player, but he's still the same kind of player. You're not going to get crazy defense from him. He's not going to do any kind of crazy offensive thing, but the kid can fucking
shoot the ball. That's what I mean.
And
like,
I mean, I don't know. I think for me personally, I have a hard time thinking that we're really down and out this year. I know we're in a massive 0-4 hole, but I also think we are talented enough as a unit to where, regardless of, like, I think right now there's 15 games left. We have to win 7 and 1 Big 12 tourney game. I think we can get in with 18 wins. It's a stretch, but for how high the conference is ranked, I think we can. Or I was telling Brady this after we lost Wednesday. It's like we might as well start mentally preparing now that we're probably going to compete in every single one of these games, and our only hope is winning the Big 12 tournament. Because you can't say we can't do it. We hang with every fucking team we play. It's just we can't close the game. All of our good guys are fouling out with like 8 minutes to go in games.
Yeah.
It's like, what is going on?
A lot of people are questioning Huggins and like if it's his system, if it's his coaching, if he's past his prime now. And like people are starting to get on him about his interviews and he just says the same thing. I kind of start to wonder that too.
Me too.
But then when I really think about what he's saying, he's always saying the same thing in the interview. He's like, we just aren't making shots.
Yeah.
The other team is making their shots. We're not. And then you look at how close the score is, and you're like, well, he's right.
Yeah.
It's not like his system's not working. We're taking open shots, a lot of good shots. We just aren't making them.
Well, I mean, when you
so
miss,
at what point, that's on the players, not the coaching.
when you miss 10 foul shots a game, that could swing in your favor if you hit all of them or even 8 of them or whatever it is. Like, again, I'm with you. It's like, how can you blame Huggins? And that's where the whole Larry Harrison thing's weird. It's like, we're kind of have to interpret this kind of weird. It's like, one, did Ren Baker, was he the one that made the call to fire Larry Harrison? Or are we going to interpret it as, like, I'm kind of interpreted as, which I don't know if it's true, is that maybe Huggins hasn't really been coaching these last couple seasons. Maybe Huggins is the guy that brings the players in. He's kind of like gives you like the old dude that sits on the bench that gives you the wisdom, and everybody else has kind of been doing the X's and O's.
Yeah.
I don't know how to interpret it. Everybody that I'm seeing, which I get it, is kind of interpreted as like he didn't have a decision in Larry Harrison.
Yeah. That's how I personally interpret
it.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
Especially when you saw like former players like talking about how upset they were that he was let go. So that kind of tells you that he had a lot of respect in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
I kind of think it's just one of those like shake it up type things, like send a message. I do think it was Ren Baker fully.
Yeah.
Probably maybe he probably had to run it past Gee. But and I'm curious. I think like what I said, we might see somebody get hired who's essentially like a coach in waiting type situation. A young guy who will take the reins after Huggins.
Yeah.
It's possible. The program's done that before.
Yeah.
Or the athletic department, I should say.
I mean, I'm a WVU loyal guy through and through, but I'm to the point now to where I just want to win.
Yeah.
I don't care what it takes really anymore.
Yeah,
I mean,
agree.
I just want to win. I want to be competitive. I want the right guys on the floor at the same time. I want the right guys on the field at the same time. I don't want to make stupid coaching decisions at the end of games. I hate like you getting your butthole tickled these whole games where the games are close and all of a sudden you stick it in a little bit and then you just pull it out real
blow
fast.
a lead, you know,
Yeah.
like it's just
Gets old.
football. On the other hand, like I guess I gotta
Don't knock till you try.
I gotta wait.
I was gonna say it's a great analogy over there. Jeez, you just went with that.
I guess with football, I gotta we need to wait until we're going into spring ball and see who all we've got off of the
TP.
Yeah, but I don't see how the team's any better next year.
Yeah, I don't know
than this year, and normally that's not my tone.
Yeah,
firsthand. Normally, every year when it's getting close to football season, we're like, "Oh, dude, I think we could win like 8 games."
Well, normally I think that, and I feel the same way, and then I get sucked right back in. Smoking Musket tweets, it's like, we have one of the most experienced lines in college football coming back.
yeah,
We got
but they've always underperformed.
agreed. 4 solid running backs coming back. We just got this big receiver from NC State that flipped from Penn State to WVU. Rodney Gallagher's coming in, and then you never really know about the defense, so you kind of just whatever. But it's like, don't suck me in. I don't want to get.
That's
sucked
what I
in
mean.
again.
I told myself this year I will not.
Who's playing quarterback next year?
Garrett
It's
Green.
probably going to be Green. We'll probably see a 2 quarterback system.
Yeah.
Honestly, we'll see both of them get.
I
time.
wouldn't care if Nico played. I just think Garrett Green's got wheels. If Nico can use his legs every once in a while, he's probably the better passing option. But Garrett Green's one of those dudes that like he's got Baker Mayfield energy.
That's what I'm saying. I'd like to see him just be the starter outright. I really would, because I like the kid's confidence, his swagger, and he's just a playmaker with the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
Like Pat White wasn't like the most accurate thrower ever. I mean, in terms of WVU quarterbacks, like Geno Smith and fucking
Skylar Howard.
no.
Will Greer.
Yeah, maybe even Clint Trickett, but Will Greer, yeah, like they were all better
Twins.
passers than Pat
Yeah.
White. But I would like to see Green start. Just in my opinion, you have to have that dual threat these days to keep defenses like honest.
Honest, yeah. Which WVU in a fucking nutshell. I was thinking about this on the old pot a couple mornings ago. WVU in a nutshell, WVU fans. The quarterback to get the most hate in an entire season in these last 15 years is Skylar Howard. And he has had the most wins out of every quarterback we've had.
He went 10-3.
He went 10-3. We were battling for a share of the Big 12 championship before Oklahoma came and blew our doors off. Everybody hated him, ripped him, and he's the only quarterback to win 10 games. Well, I think, did Will? Will might have won 10 games. No? No.
He only won 9 that senior year.
Yeah,
pretty
so
sure.
it's crazy.
Geno Smith won 10 the year we went to
Did
the
Will get
Orange
hurt?
Bowl.
Was it that year he got hurt? At the end of the year?
Will Greer got hurt his first year, and I don't know how many wins we finished with that, but he played his full senior year, minus the bowl game.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure we finished with 9 wins that year.
Yeah,
we lost to Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, and Iowa State. So does that give us 10 or 9 or 8 wins?
9. Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny. I was a Skylar Howard. I don't want to call myself a Skylar Howard hater, but I critiqued him a lot. But then it's funny, yeah. I will say the one thing though, we went 10-3 that season, but in the bowl game against Miami, he looked absolutely lost.
Yeah. Terrible.
You know what I mean? So I think that was such a weird year because like he was not good at throwing the ball, but he was a bruiser. Do you remember how often we ran quarterback runs with him?
Well, dude, yes. And then the year prior in the bowl game against Arizona State, he throws for like 500 yards.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck?
No offense to Neil Brown, or actually, yeah, offense
We're
to Neil Brown.
Neil Brown
Like, dude, Holgerson was so much better at using guys, like using their strengths, and then instead of just trying to like shoehorn a guy in a role. Like, I don't know, dude. I miss Holgerson. Like, yeah, he hasn't had a lot of success at Houston, but I could tell you right now that our teams the past 2 years would have been fucking better. I don't care what anyone says.
I miss Rich Rod.
They would have been, yeah, I missed those days too. But
bring Rich Rod back, dude.
But yeah, I don't know what to expect from this year. Like literally last season, going into the season, on paper, our roster, like we should have been so much better than the team that we put on the field the year before.
We should have at least,
and we regressed.
Yeah,
we regressed.
We should have at the least won 7 games.
Yeah,
at the least.
And the sad thing about it is like our losses this past season, minus the Pitt game, they were all like bad losses.
And then I wonder too.
The year before, all the losses were like very close games.
Yeah,
like games that we only lost because we made a mistake.
I wonder if we beat Pitt if this season is different.
I think it really fucking sucks that like, and this was a Holgerson thing. I remember the interview. That's why we stopped playing Marshall, and why we stopped playing two, whatever you call it, FCS schools this season. Is because he said with the way the landscape is going to college football, like you have to have your strength of schedule means so much for the end of the season on getting if they're going to put you in the playoff.
Yeah, if you win 9, 10, 11, 12 games.
Yeah, but like if you're a WVU, you compare WVU to Alabama. Say they have the same exact record at the end of the season. Alabama's always going to go in before them.
For sure.
Doesn't matter.
Well, that's what I mean. But WVU's never going to win that many games.
No, but his argument was like, because what caused it was the year that TCU and Baylor were both snubbed out of the playoff when they had better records. So his argument was like, you need to play as many Power 5 schools as you can. Like, fuck all this playing an FCS school every year. So that's why, like, we start these Virginia Tech, Pitt, Penn State getting put back on the.
It's only going to get harder.
The Missouri, like that all was because of him. And I really think it fucking sucks that now we finally hit these years. I remember thinking back in college, I was like, man, that's like 6 years away. Like, it's going to be so long from now we get to see Penn State and Pitt again. Now it's here, and it's like we just have a shitty team.
You were still a little panda running around Morgantown.
Dude, I think Penn State's going to fucking destroy us to start the season.
Dude, don't blink. In 3 years, we play Alabama.
Exactly.
Home and home with Bama. So it's only going to get harder from here.
It's just like
to play Pitt Pitt again. We like to laugh and rip Pitt because that's our rival. The second year in a row, they finished in the top 25 in football. It's like we're going to have to play Pitt. We're going to have to play Penn State. And then we got to play the entire Big 12. It's only going to get fucking harder. BYU is in the conference starting next year. Then in 2 years, you had Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF.
I thought they were all in starting next year.
Well, unless they fast tracked it, I know BYU is.
I'm pretty sure Houston for sure.
Then yeah.
Because I was reading an article the other day about the potential matchup of Holgerson coming to Morgantown.
Which it's crazy. Houston #1 in basketball. I mean, like,
are they really?
Yeah, they're good, bro. Like, so yeah, a lot of crazy. Like, before when I hear Texas and Oklahoma's leaving, I'm like, dang, this is really gonna hurt the conference.
It hurts more for football than basketball, for sure.
Now though, it's like, UCF's been relevant. Cincinnati's been Fickle's gone, so it'll be a little different. But Cincinnati's been relevant. Houston's just big because of Holgerson. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We will for sure see. It will play out one way or the other.
So let's try to get on a happy note here. Sith, we just finished our first week as roommates.
How'd that go?
Went good.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
You all set up?
For the most part. We've been chilling, but touching tummies.
Yeah. Getting all excited.
How many times this week did he cook rice?
0.
Wow.
So yeah, 0. At least while I was home, 0.
That was highly inappropriate.
No, that wasn't meant to sound that way at all. For those that don't know, Sith and I were roommates for years, and I could tell you, you just never knew, but all of a sudden the whole house would start smelling like rice. He had that rice cooker on, baby.
Rice is good, dude. Rice is good.
I did. Me and him have been bidding on this like app thing, Mac. What is it called?
Mac discounts. We can't stop.
Yeah, I just lost a bid on a $300 rice cooker. So
man, dude, it's so funny. Like Brooke bought a rice cooker, and the first time she turned it on, I was like, "Wow, this brings me back." This brings me back.
I know that smell.
I was getting nostalgic.
You turned that baby on.
I was getting real nostalgic.
Well, dude, so like I don't know if you guys have heard of this Mac discounts app. Me and Dupes talked about it a couple months ago on TTP.
Is that one of them you bet like a penny or whatever?
Yeah, it's like a bidding system, and then you go pick this stuff up. It's open box, returns, could be damage. It's all a gamble. You're getting the stuff for cheap, high value stuff, cheaper than you normally would, but there's a chance something could be wrong with it. So, first week, I guess I should have realized this. I didn't have the best office set up. All my shit was old. So I got $500 worth of office equipment for, I think it was $163. A sick ass chair. I got a desk that I still have to put together. So ever since then, my mom's already been up there 3 times picking stuff up. Sith, he sent me a screenshot of a PC earlier that he wants me to buy. Didn't realize that on the screenshot I could see how many things he was tracking. His number was 38.
Yeah, he keeps sending me fucking pics of stuff. I'm just like,
Where do you get it?
It's just on your
No, I mean like you pick it up.
So
Oh.
there's two in Washington, PA, and one in Bridgeport,
Gotcha,
and then there's a
gotcha.
couple in Pittsburgh. So yeah, we've just been doing that, and it's exhilarating.
I love deals, man. That's the thing. you know?
Anything in that like auction sphere is it's electric.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
because you sit there, you get to the last 10 minutes, and like shit's about to hit the fan. Like one of his auctions is supposed to end like 15 minutes earlier, but every time somebody bids,
Yeah.
it resets 2
Which I don't
minutes.
understand how that works because I bought a bed off of like a local auction, but it was online as well, and I thought it was I thought I won that it would like kept going
Yeah.
for 10 more bids. I didn't understand.
Yeah, so it's like anytime they get in the bidding war and they can get as much money
Oh,
for
man,
it, they
it
just
makes
keep
sense.
jacking that
Yeah.
time up. But yes, we've been hella addicted to Mac discounts.
Yeah, my phone's been just ringing in my pocket here. So I just don't want to look at it. So.
But yeah, no, things have been good. Working from home's cool, but it's weird. I mean, it's weird.
It is weird. You like it though?
I do. I do. I like it now that I have like a legit, sick, comfortable chair.
mm-hmm.
Once
Makes all the difference.
Oh, dude, once we put the chair together and I sat in it that first morning, I was like, that's the nicest like chair I've ever owned. Like
Yeah.
computer chair, whatever. I'm like, this is fucking sick.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that this is a sidebar. Weirdest and coolest thing for me about working home is running dual monitors at once. Didn't
Yeah.
realize you could do that.
Oh,
Literally,
yeah, it's cool.
Dude, you were like shocked.
I was.
I can't live without. I have dual monitors in my office, like nice Dell ones.
Yeah.
I couldn't live without them now.
Well, dude, I was like,
have
how do I get this here? And he's like, you just click and drag it. I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
You just pull it right there.
Yeah,
It's essentially like one screen.
Yeah.
It is dope. That's what I'm. Well, I think I fucked up here. I wanted to trade my MacBook Pro in to get a mini so that I could have like a desktop setup. Well, I couldn't figure out how to clear the Mac to factory settings. Like it was giving me all this misinformation. Well, now I've completely deleted like the OS off the laptop, and now it's just like a laptop with that can't start up.
Oh,
I have no idea how to get the OS back on. I keep reading all these forums on how to do it. It's not working. So now I might just have a fucking MacBook Pro that's just a shell.
We'll
Paperweight.
talk after. We'll talk after this.
It's just like,
dude. So
but I want to trade it in towards a mini.
now that you say that, there was years ago when I had my MacBook kept crashing, and the way to fix it is I had to delete everything off of it. But for the life of me, I can't remember how I got anything back on.
Yeah, so I know I can do it because my first MacBook Pro I ever had, the hard drive in it got corrupted. Like
Yeah.
it just
That-
shit the
that's
bed.
what happened to me too.
And I went out and bought an SSD and put it in there. And obviously that doesn't come with the operating system on there. So I found a way to get it on there and basically have a brand new laptop at the time. So I know it's possible.
I think it was I think I had to do it from an external hard
Yeah,
drive.
You have to put the OS on the external
That-
and then boot it up that way.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to need another fucking computer to do it. But I'm thinking maybe I just take it to the Apple store and just be like,
You want
you
this?
guys just put it on there like when you go to resell it? I don't know.
Well, dude, because I mean, you should be able to swap fully, right?
I mean, a little. I'd have to pay a little bit.
Yeah,
The value is
can't be
not
that
fully
much.
I
there.
feel like as long as the serial number is linked to your Apple ID or whatever, you should be able to just go there.
Yeah, and it is. So should be.
Damn, yeah.
But yeah, it's a shitty situation. But I would just like really want. I'm so over having a laptop. I just don't ever use it. I feel like I legitimately sit down at a desktop way more.
Yeah.
Like I really want to play Sims 4 and just build houses. I've gone down the rabbit hole. I just watch Sims 4 house builders on YouTube now. Dude, they just build the sickest houses.
That'd be fun. That sounds nice. I just want to
just
sit in a chair and want to play The Sims.
Yeah,
Like I did when I was little.
I do. And you could get Sims 4 for the Xbox, so I did. Man, is it hard to do with a controller? I was like, I need a mouse.
Dude, if it wasn't for YouTube, what would people do?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't really.
Read books. I guess.
You don't use YouTube?
I'm not on YouTube that. Like, you always mention all these like podcasts, all these YouTubers. I'm like, who the fuck are they?
Oh, dude.
I have no idea. Like, I've always like kind of stayed away. Unless like
I felt
needed to,
Sith
like,
would be
learn
on
something.
YouTube.
I'm not. I mean, I need to get on there apparently.
Dude,
I watch so much.
I
YouTube.
fell in a rabbit hole a couple nights ago of this guy that just tours
Abandoned houses?
abandoned mansions.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, again, it's illegal what he's doing, probably breaking and entering in the property. But like, there's this one house that like just had everything in it. Like it happened to where I hate to even say this. It was like a story of where the guy flew the plane, killed himself and the son, the mom, whatever, had to leave, couldn't afford it, whatever. So she just abandoned this house at this $10 million house. Dude, it had everything in it. The closet still had clothes in it. There's still furniture everywhere. There's TVs. And this guy's just walking around just with his camera, like filming everything.
What's the
That
property
creeps me
stuff
out.
there? You'd think after so long, it's free game.
I
it's,
thought too,
squatter-
Bubba.
Squatters' rights,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I thought too.
You've been there for a year or whatever. It's yours.
Dude, squatters' rights, I think, is the biggest bullshit fucking thing.
Yeah,
Like, fuck that.
yeah. Dude, technically those people would own Perkins.
That's what I'm saying.
You're fired, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, technically one of these days they're going to bust through the door and be like, this is our joint now. Give me a pie. But yeah, and then there was another one he went in. You could tell this house got crushed by a hurricane a couple times, but it was like a $26 million house on the Gulf of Mexico. It was old cartel dude that got raided. I mean, it's like, I see these houses.
I would never go in that one.
Oh, dude, it was scary. Like, and I was trying to find the video because he was talking about, I guess at one time he was doing this and got into it with a squatter. Like, it's like whatever, and I couldn't find the actual video itself, so I'm gonna deep dive and try to find it to where the scene is. So like he had mace and everything ready to go, but this house had like people. He would walk by a room and somebody had a taped up thing on the wall. It just said occupied, and like you could tell there's beer cans everywhere. People just living in this house. It's pretty wild. It's hard to fathom how some people just. This makes me sound like a dick, but like, just don't have anything.
Right?
Yeah.
I fully get you there.
You know?
I think about it all the time.
Yeah,
Side-
wild way to live.
It
Right.
would.
Sidebar. There's a Bam Margera mini doc that came out kind of recently. And remember, I'm sure everyone here watched Viva La Bam.
Yeah.
Remember how he had the big mansion and property? I think he called it Castle Bam. Pretty
Yeah.
sure that's what his house was called. He still owns it. Doesn't live there. Well, in the mini doc, he's like in a SUV with his mom and his wife. I think they're married. His wife, and they're driving, up the road, like there's a big long road that leads up to the mansion. They get to it, and there's just like a guy there that he clearly like knows from his past.
For sure.
He's just been squatting there.
Damn.
No way.
Yeah.
Is
That's
there
And
like
like his mom gets out of the car, like he refuses to get out of the car. His mom gets out and she's like fucking going off. She's like, "We told you time and time again, like don't fucking be here, don't come here."
wonder if he has a problem with like his past, like if he's what's the
Bam?
word? No, yeah, like if he's was somebody that would consume the hard drugs that
I'm
Bam-
sure.
bad
I guarantee
influence.
that's what it was.
That's the word.
I saw
influence.
he
You know
was
how-
on
you
like
know how
Steve-O
people
and
are.
stuff. That's
Yeah,
cool.
he just was. Yeah,
Wait, what'd you say?
He like was on Steve-O's podcast or whatever because
Yeah.
I thought he didn't speak to like
This
any of
week.
them.
dude, and it's crazy. Bam almost died like 2 or 3 weeks ago. He was on a ventilator.
Dude, what's going on? Fucking Peyton Hillis almost died saving his kids in the ocean. Jeremy Renner almost died
Yeah.
from a snowplow. Dude, the
Dude,
fucking,
R.I.P. Ken Block.
Oh,
Did you see
Yeah.
it? Dude, that's
Crazy.
wild. His video, I used to be obsessed with his videos.
yeah, what's going on? The universe be coming after these money men.
Like Jeff Beck, he's like one of the most famous
Yeah.
guitarists ever. He just died a couple days ago.
Lisa Marie Presley died
Yeah.
last night.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, she was only I think she was in her early 50s.
Fuck. That sucks. Damn, everyone's going down like flies.
Yeah, man. But
Who do we think's next? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I think that's exactly what it was. You know how like I'm not trying to like shoehorn people into a specific
Category?
yeah, but like people that were like once into booze and drugs, and then like they ran with a certain crowd, and then they get out of it, but that crowd still kind of exists, you know, and you try to like forget that you ever knew them. I feel it.
That's probably how it was.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what that situation was.
Yeah. Well,
But I'd love to tour that house.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Well, dude, I get back to, house things like that. It's like this dude's getting over millions of views on every video. And I mean, he's toured like corrupt politicians that have had to leave. Like he's found houses that were made in like the 16th, 15th century that still have everything in them, like houses in France and everything. It's like, how do you find this shit? Like, I don't know. But, dude, we'll talk about this on here so people can listen. Sith is going to have his first Halo tournament in Charlotte.
Oh yeah.
And we're inviting all the boys if anybody wants to go.
When I can't wait.
Last weekend in
Third weekend of February.
third weekend in February.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to go and get away for a long weekend.
Or
everyone's
is
more
the
than
Halo
welcome.
champion? Is it actually?
Yeah, it's like an official tournament. Should be cool. I mean, I like Charlotte in general.
Yeah,
It's
Charlotte's
a
cool.
sweet city, yeah, for sure.
You coming?
Yeah,
I'd
dude,
like to.
doing it.
Well, it depends with work.
Yeah.
How do you
Dude.
get out of work?
Just quit.
Yeah, I wish.
But yeah, so that's the official invite for everybody that's listening. Dude, even, my mom or aunt wants to come, anybody can come. But yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Are you gonna start training?
Yeah, I got some scrims tonight. Gotta try to find a new team, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, you've been playing like every night,
Been
pretty much.
grinding.
Yeah.
Been grinding.
Grind.
Just bring Final Boss back.
I wish, man. I wish.
But yeah, that's that. I'm trying to think. What is anyone back? Not back for the week?
Yeah, so I have for back this week is the video of me getting stoned by RA in the hockey tournament in
I
Detroit.
saw that, dude. Yeah. I saw that.
So RA, like they filmed some kind of basketball like thing for content, and RA just has never held a basketball in his life. He claims he played before, but like he couldn't shoot the ball at all. And people were like ragging on him. So that was his response to bring out the video of me getting embarrassed in front of a bunch of people. So that was great.
That's hysterical.
Let me see. Not back is gas stoves, apparently. Why are they taking gas stoves out? Did you
Oh, I
see
did
that?
see that.
Yeah,
saw
I don't know
Home
why.
pollution is what they're saying.
Home
It's a
pollution,
big thing.
Mm.
Apparently, gas stoves have been linked to cause asthma.
Really? I like
There's
I like gas stoves a lot better than electric ones.
That's
stink.
how you used to light the hookah.
But there's like so many things in your house. That is true. That definitely cost some asthma.
Yeah.
Gas stoves are great for taking dabs.
There you go. I mean, there's a lot of uses. Yeah, I saw some guy posted because I mean, as always, AOC's in the lead, which she's hot. I mean, biases aside, AOC, you're a smoke show.
Yeah.
But somebody uploaded a screenshot of her like literally doing like a live, and they're like, "You're literally cooking on a gas stove as you're doing this right now."
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, dude.
Can
That
we
is
talk
weird.
about stoves for a second?
For sure.
Have
We
I
could
ever
always
told
talk
this
about
story about
stoves.
Sith on here when he almost killed us all?
I'm pretty sure.
Which time?
We're so lucky that wasn't a gas stove at the Forest House.
Yeah, you're talking about the.
I'm talking about the full rotisserie chicken that you put in the oven and then went to sleep.
Yeah.
And I woke up in the morning and like the whole house was filled with smoke. I was like, I was in my room. I was on the second floor. I was like, the house is on fire,
Dude.
I
Fuck.
went downstairs, dude. It was horrible. I opened up the fucking oven and there's just this charcoal black full body of a chicken because he got it from that fucking
the Greek place.
the Greek place over by Ashbrook Liquor.
Dude, that's hysterical.
Oh, that place was nice.
That's what
Dude.
I'm saying. I was so pissed that I burnt it.
I was so fucking pissed. I was so pissed. I literally, I went and woke him up. Or well, first, I'm pretty sure I took the chicken out of the oven and threw it out the window into the woods. I went upstairs. I woke him up like in a rage. He's like, "You fucking idiot! You fucking burned the fucking house down." Then I packed up my clothes, got in my car, and drove to Wheatland. I did. I was like, "Fuck that!" I was like, "I'm going home for the weekend."
Oh, dude. I mean,
That's awesome.
I know I've said it on here too, but dude, Neil almost burnt down our whole 6th Street thing when we all lived there with the pizza.
Yeah,
Put a
the
pizza in with the cardboard on the
cardboard.
bottom.
Oh yeah.
Fell asleep.
I remember that.
Dude, and then remember when the fucking water shit happened?
We weren't living there when that happened,
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
but it was our apartment.
Yeah, I remember just being half asleep for like 45 minutes, and DJ Ham and DQ are just banging on the back door. And in my head, I'm like, this is a dream. And then I finally wake up, and they're like, because it didn't touch our place. They're just like, everything's leaking and underwater, and we're like, what? And just went back to sleep. And yeah, like something happened with the water.
Pipe. I think it
Yeah,
was
pipe
winter
burst.
time, and the pipes
Yeah,
burst.
fuck, dude.
They. I remember when we lived there.
The first floor, they had an issue.
Well, yeah, but I remember when we lived in that apartment. I remember when we were signing the lease that the landlord warned us about frozen pipes during the winter time. I do remember that. And do you remember our fucking heat went out
Yeah.
in the winter, and we were only heating the place off of space heaters.
Mhm.
Dude, remember?
And I can remember the phone call I got from my mom. She's like, "Your electric bill this month was like triple what it normally was." She was pissed, and I was like, "I don't know what to say. We don't have fucking heat."
Yeah. Do you remember when we were doing the ice bucket challenge on the deck, and we weren't remembering that there was a unit right underneath, and somebody did it, and then all of a sudden somebody did, and you hear like, whoa, and we all just ran inside.
It's a
We're like,
water park.
Sorry.
Remember when I
dude.
started grill when it hit springtime, I was like just in a grilling mood. I was like, I'm gonna grill out every fucking day. And the very first day I grilled out, we put the grill on that plastic
table.
table.
Melted
and just
it.
melted it. It's like, whoops.
Oh, dude, that was
And then like one of the nights, like, dude, I had a whole vibe going. I'd get the grill down there. I'd take some chairs out. I'd take my
it was
bong.
fun.
I'd take my bong out,
Yeah.
and like I'd sit there, grill food, just kick it. And one fucking night, I left my bong and my weed down there for literally 30 fucking seconds. I went upstairs to grab like condiments or cheese or something for the burgers. Came back, and all my weed and stuff was
It
gone.
had to be the girls.
It was the Jimmy John's dude.
no,
The
really.
Jimmy John's guy showed up. He delivered to Roger.
He jacked your
He
shit.
jacked my shit. Dude, Seth and I, do you remember this? Do you remember that? We went and sat outside of Jimmy John's for like 2 hours. I was like, because I knew what he looked like. I saw the dude coming up the hill, which was stupid. I should have just waited for him to like deliver the food. I sat in front of that Jimmy John's for like 2 hours waiting to see that guy come
He
back.
probably said, "I got
He
paid
never
enough
came
tonight."
back.
He just
He
quit
never
on the
came
spot.
back. He never, and you know who was working at Jimmy John's at the time was that fucking Kate girl, the wacko, the one that went to prison from Beckley.
Oh, that
You
girl.
remember her?
Yeah.
She was working at Jimmy John's at the time, and I was blowing her fucking phone up. I was like, "Yo, like when you see this fucking guy come back to work, like you let me know." I was like, "But I'm out here anyways." Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know if like if he was
I'm
gonna,
on it
I didn't know
anyway.
I didn't know if he was gonna come through like a back door or something. I was like, "I'm fucking catch this dude." And like, dude, back then I was whacked out, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, so
we're
no-
living off like we didn't have a lot of money, and like a gram of weed was like fucking like meant everything to me.
Dude, so over
So
all the
bad.
holidays, I was over just bullshitting with my mom, and she literally just looked at me and she's like, "I just don't understand how you guys used to live in Morgantown." Like,
Oh, I could tell you.
and I was like, and I told her, I was like, "You don't realize, like, you just would buy dollars worth of ramen. You would buy all that stuff, and you would just eat light."
Cheap shit.
Cheap
a lot
shit,
of times
dude.
we didn't even buy groceries. A lot of times, which full transparency here, the only reason I got through Morgantown was from like selling pot.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll say it. Among other things. And that's how you'd make your money to fucking eat. For
Yeah.
me, at least.
Yeah, it was weird.
A lot, and I know a lot of people that live like that.
Sorry, do you remember the deep fryer we had on that?
Yeah. That's right. We had the first semester on 6th Street, Sith brought an actual deep fryer. Our place reeked of fucking fried food, dude. We were frying everything.
Pizza roll.
Dude, I fried an Eggo waffle. I fried a fucking, I took a I made a quesadilla, then folded it all into a little triangle, dipped it in pancake batter, and then dropped it in the fryer. Dude, I was frying everything.
That sounds good.
Who sold the Clevelands? What was it called?
Russet Muscat.
Did it just smell like that all the time?
Yes.
Yes.
And you didn't know it because you were living in it.
Yeah.
But you'd go home, like I'd go home for the weekend, have my laundry done. My mom
It's
would
like,
be
do you
like,
work at a Chinese
I'd be like,
restaurant?
what the fuck is going on? I'd be like, oh.
We're making meth.
Like,
Mom. What?
Sith's got a deep fryer. But it was legit, dude. We'd have our own wing nights some
Oh,
nights.
yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
like,
be sick.
and then we also had a what do they call that? A toaster oven, and it
Oh,
caught
yeah.
on fire.
Yeah.
Caught on fire. We had to toss that.
Wasn't me though. That wasn't me that.
And then I woke up one morning that we were like partying the whole night before, and I came out to the kitchen in the morning, and like it was a wreck. Beer cans everywhere, like liquor bottles, like shit everywhere. And I look in the toaster, and there's a frozen pierogi in the toaster. I was like, who tried to cook a fucking pierogi in the toaster? Like, just stupid shit.
Yeah. Dude, yeah,
And
we
then
were.
Sith punched like 8 holes in the walls of that place.
Yeah, dude. And then like the Maria's birthday party.
That
when
was fun.
When the front porch, like, they were like, yeah, we think probably 8 people should be on that, and we counted 40, and the thing was bending in half.
Yeah.
And we were like, what?
Dude, the parties at that complex were so cool because of how, like, technically the 2 middle apartments made up just a big circle.
Yeah.
You could have people out on the deck, then go into the apartments, and then it wrapped around out back and connected.
Yeah, and then we were talking about we were getting pissed because DQ wouldn't let anybody pee in their
Oh
bathroom.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Motherfucker.
I would catch people going up into my apartment to piss, which, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Depends.
It depended on who it was.
Yeah, and
but,
then
like,
then the fire marshals tried to get us for that street sign that was hung up, and we were like, "That was there."
yeah, like that came with the apartment.
Yeah, we were like, "That's not us." And
legitimately.
they're like, "You can either pay a ticket or you can drag it around front." And all of us drunk motherfuckers were like, "Okay." And we dragged a pole, had massive cement on the back, and just drug it to the front of the street. And we were like, "There you go."
I wonder if that's still a thing, because that was always the biggest bummer when the fire marshal would come.
Oh, I'm sure.
It has to
capacity or
be.
whatever.
If anything, I bet it's worse.
I'm sure, dude. And I remember people were jumping off that back deck like the FBI was coming, running up the
running
hill.
up the hill.
Well, this is me like saying it was better in the old day. I mean, I don't fucking know, but I feel like parties like don't get that big anymore. Like you can't. Like you start to like have a big crowd and they get shut down. Like I remember parties back then were like fucking stupid.
Dude,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to some fucking wild parties, honestly.
Dude.
You want to know? One of the last ones I remember, actually, right before I left Morgantown, was that Halloween party.
The Schwartz,
Yeah.
the Hockenberry,
Dude, that party
Petrel.
was
Yeah,
just, there were just so many
Wally.
people there.
yeah, they were always nuts.
So many people.
Dude, I mean, I know this isn't a party, but the wildest thing I've ever been to in my entire life was PCB senior year
Yeah.
on the beach.
You know, I was just talking about PCB the other day. I was trying to, and I don't correct me if I'm wrong, or if anyone here knows, but like, is PCB still the place to go?
It-
No, not anymore.
Because
It
didn't they
wasn't-
change a bunch of the?
It wasn't. They shut like the drinking on the beach thing down, but I was talking to somebody. I think it might have been Randy's coworker or something when we linked up in Parkersburg. I think PCB's coming back around because he was talking about how he's gone with his friends down to PCB. And I showed him the picture of like the beach and everything. And I was like, this is the one thing that I can tell you. This is actually true. Like there's a lot of pictures you see where you're like, you know, it's kind of fabricated a little bit.
Right.
I'm like, this right here is exactly, and it probably was worse. Like,
Yeah.
dude, it was crazy. flags would be everywhere. You'd find your school. You'd walk through everybody, and then you'd find your school. Then you'd find your little crew. Everybody's just playing games, getting shit-faced. If you had to pee, you'd just walk down to the beach, piss, go back. That to me, that was like, that's one of the trips where I'm like, I'm so happy I did that, because that's like a core memory for me. Because I don't know if I'll ever be anywhere crazy like that again.
We
in my
probably
life.
won't. Not at our age. You know what I mean? Like, I try to tell people, like, that trip was actually like the movies.
It was.
The beach was wild.
It was
wild.
crazy.
Never seen anything like it. And it was just like, it was unhinged, dude. Like, we were there. So like, spring break would last like 4 weeks long, because like so many different colleges had it at a different time. So like for like 4 weeks, Panama City Beach would be just lit.
Yeah.
So you never knew like what week you were gonna be, like what schools were gonna be there the same week. We were there with some rough schools.
Yeah.
A lot of shit was going down at night, I remember, and like stuff got sketchy. There was a lot of like shootings.
Yeah.
So like it was a very unhinged week too, but like so much fun during the day.
Dak Prescott got beat up the week before.
The week before.
Yeah.
I remember the video in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So it was, I mean, that was a trip to remember. It was just wild. Sith shouldn't even have been there.
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah, you went with like $4.
Dude, he literally like,
Literally, like the day before, like no, that was like the morning.
dude, it was
of.
like the morning of.
As far as like, you just like get some money, try to find a way down there. My parents were like, no, you're not going. We're not giving you any money. I went and found all the change in the apartment.
Yeah.
It was like $76 a change.
And we took an iPhone to Kroger and put it in the machine to like that would give you money for it, just so he could go. Like,
and shit was wild, bro.
Dude. It was, and
I
I wasn't supposed to be going there either.
The NCAA tournament was going on at that time. That's
Yeah.
when we beat Maryland. We're all drunk as shit. Like, yeah.
And
Wow.
the ride home was the ride from fucking hell. It took us like 21 hours to get back to Morgantown.
Well, to be fair, we left at like 3 in the morning.
We did. So we left at like 5 a.m. Was on the road for like an hour. I pulled off at this golf course. I saw this big billboard because I was like falling asleep at the wheel. I saw this big billboard that said like rooms for $40. Pulled off. They gave us a room. We slept for like 5 hours, got back on the road. We stopped in Atlanta to like look at all the Walking Dead filming locations. Then it was time for the WVU Kentucky game. We turned on somebody's hotspot in the car, put the game on an iPad, and it killed the battery of the car.
Yeah.
So we were stranded at a rest stop for like an hour until we found a jump.
Damn, man.
Yo, shout out to that guy from Canada.
Yeah,
though.
he was from Canada. And then when we finally hit West Virginia, like hit the mountains through Virginia into West Virginia, we hit a fucking snowstorm.
Oh yeah.
In April, right? Or March.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I forgot about the snow.
dude, it was fucking wild.
Because somehow
him and fucking Ty are just passed out. I have the windows down in a snowstorm with music blaring to keep me awake.
Yeah. Somehow PJ and Neil got us back before tip off. I'll never
Holy
forget.
fuck.
Dude, but
You
so
guys made it home before tip off?
yeah.
What?
We watched the game at 6th Street. But dude,
Wow.
I probably have said this here.
We were in North Carolina still.
I probably have said this on here, but like that's the funniest thing when Jacko lost his room key. He lost his room key. He turns the rental in. PJ turns the rental in. Literally, it was like 2.5 years later. I work at Enterprise. I'm going through the lost and found. I literally found his room key.
Nuh-uh.
I remember sending because it was like the tie-dye one, and I remember sending it to him, and I was like, "Is this your fucking room key from 6th Street?" And I found it.
That's
So like
awesome.
that is always fun. To do.
I just remember like Sith was not supposed like he was not a part of the plans to, like for the hotel and everything. And I remember when we got to our hotel at PCB, you were getting wristbanded up to show
yeah,
you were like
strict.
there. Like if you got caught on the premises without your wristband, like they'd throw you out.
Yeah.
I was so nervous for him the whole time. He slept on the fucking floor. I felt so bad for him.
Hey,
dude.
Yeah.
I survived.
We survived,
Dude,
dude.
I was
it
like,
was wild.
I was
had
like
a wild
bargaining
time.
for food everywhere. I was like,
He did. We were bargaining every day with the same lady for
it
cheesesteaks.
wasn't a Big Mama
We
or something.
kept it was Mama's cheesesteaks.
Yeah.
We'd go up to her, we'd be like, Mama. We'd be like, we need a cheesesteak. let's get they were huge cheesesteaks, dude.
Dude, that was a cool place too.
It was.
Yeah.
Really was.
The bars were cool. the
I have to
clubs.
go, but real fast. You
Yeah.
guys hate anything this week? No.
Honestly, no. I don't hate.
No?
I don't think anything. I don't think I hate it. Do you hate anything?
I do. I hate quite a lot of things this week.
All right. What do we hate?
Well, I'm gonna channel JT real fast, and I hate old people because
Yeah,
I was at dinner last night, and this guy was doing the like touching the waitress way too much.
Oh god.
Like you hate to see it. It
I
makes me
hate
uncomfortable.
that,
Yeah,
dude.
it was bad. The infamous Whopper or Burger King Whopper commercial. I hate that. Have you heard that one yet?
No.
The
I think
Whopper,
I have.
Whopper. That no.
No.
Oh,
Thank
it's
God I
brutal.
have it because it sounds like I would hate it.
He's like brutal.
And then Twitter has 2 timelines now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, what the fuck?
How
I hate
hard is
that.
it that you just see the shit for people you follow? How
That's
hard?
right.
How hard of a concept is that?
Does this still show ads on the other side?
It shows
It
ads
shows-
now on the
yeah.
For You like it used to OG, but it's not in chronological order. Then on the other side is chronological order, but doesn't show any interactions between your friends. I hate that. I'm happy you brought
hate
that
it as
up.
well. I gotta go. See you guys.
So
You know the
glad-
Nailers game?
I am. Yes.
Yeah, nail it down, dude.
Nail it down. Nail her down.
Nail it down.
I'm so glad I got rid of Twitter. From what that sounds awful. The biggest thing for me with all social medias is the point that we hit where like ads became a thing in it. Like
Yeah.
you hit a point where you couldn't go through your Snapchat stories without having an ad story filtered in. Same thing with Instagram, and then your Instagram feed and your Twitter feed. Like, dude, the days of social media where like it was just the bare bones of it were so much better.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
much better.
I mean, now for me, I don't know if I'll ever get rid of Instagram, but I have Twitter just solely for news. Like that's
Yeah.
where I get all my like things that are going on because
Yeah.
I don't fucking watch this propaganda we have on our
The only
our
things I have
TVs.
left now are Reddit and YouTube, and like even YouTube on the mobile version is becoming they're filtering things in on your feed now that never used to be there, like the shorts, which is literally TikToks.
Yep.
And then now, like recently, I feel like in just the last week and a half, I've started noticing like posts, like an Instagram post. What is that?
It's like people you follow, they like repost something and they're like, was on this show,
Yeah, and
whatever.
it's a picture.
I can't
it's
do
not
that.
a video.
I can't do that.
No,
So it must be
like
like
I don't want to see that.
no, it must be like a tool.
I don't know.
What time you shredding tonight?
I don't know. I haven't looked at my phone. I did get the text.
Nice. But yeah, I don't. Do you guys hate anything? Love anything? I don't really have anything else. Pretty much the bulk of my shit was WVU stuff, and we talked about
we
that.
covered that.
Yeah, I don't think much really happened this week. Good week, good first week of my new job. Really thankful to you, and I feel very lucky. Everybody's very nice, very kind. And working from home's an adjustment. To me, I'm mentally still on vacation because like I'm so used to just going places.
Right.
But yeah, I've had a good week. Long weekend, Monday off. Happy
Yes,
Martin
sir.
Luther King Day, everybody. Playoffs are this weekend. You have been paying attention? You have any predictions or anything?
For the NFL?
Yeah, you have anything you want to say?
No, I think it's anyone's championship to win this year. That's what I was
I
saying
agree.
last week. If I was gonna put a bet on somebody, I think the Eagles are gonna win the Super
What
Bowl.
about you?
Interesting.
It's hard.
It is hard. It is hard. I just hope we don't get a similar situation as the college game where it's like a blowout.
Yeah. So on hits and picks, I tried to make myself different. Like I went bold, like extremely bold. I don't know if this will happen, and I don't even know how the bracket's set up. I wouldn't be shocked. I think AFC, we're either going to have Bills, Chiefs, or Bengals. Of course, anything can happen. But if I had to guess, it'll be one of those three. And, dude, I'm telling you, the NFC's where I go completely rogue. I think fucking Tom Brady is going to somehow make it. And I think the Giants might like make a run, and it would be cool to see the Bucks and the Giants because fucking the New York Giants are Tom Brady's kryptonite, which would be cool. But I think if I had a choice, I would like to see a Tom Brady Mahomes rematch in the Super Bowl. I think that'd be kind of cool. I'd love to see the Eagles win. I think it's gonna be interesting. You're gonna have Herbert in now. Trevor Lawrence has been winning all these games he's in. I think really anything can happen.
Yeah, I really don't think there's an actual clear favorite.
I don't.
So should be some good football to watch.
They fucked Minnesota. They didn't put Kirk at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Kirk is a fucking money bet. They put him at 4:30. It's tough. I think he gets bounced first round. Yeah, the college football national championship sucked ass.
Yeah.
Shit was awful. Trying to think. The Golden Globes were this week.
Yeah.
Completely missed it on
Missed
Didn't
TV.
pay attention.
Yeah, I think that's it really. And the new Ant-Man trailer
Ant-Man.
was sick.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched it yet.
Excited.
I finished 2 new shows
Oh.
in the time since I've last been on. I was watching Tulsa King Weekly.
So good.
Pretty damn good show. I'm going to make some comparisons here because I don't know if a lot of people know this. Yes, it's a Taylor Sheridan show, but like the writing team and there's a lot of actors all really had their hands in The Sopranos and Boardwalk Empire. So it's season 1. So I think there's potential for the budget to get higher for the show. Like, I think when comparing it to Sopranos and Boardwalk Empire, it's not really fair
Agreed.
budget wise. But I also think the tone of the show is meant to be completely different. Like, I don't think it's supposed to. There are very serious moments in the show, but I think the show is supposed to come off more as a like. There's comedy in it,
I can see that.
and there's like it's like black comedy, like dark comedy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was all in on the first season. I love that kind of stuff.
Me too.
The mafia stuff. So, definitely looking forward to season 2 when that comes out. That'll be a good show. And like I said, the writing team on that and the actors, A+ people. Yeah. I finished that first season of that White Lotus show.
Is it? I've heard nothing but great things.
It's really
about that
good,
show.
and it's quick watch. It's like 6 or 7 episodes, maybe. It's a limited.
Yeah,
but there's a season 2 that came out.
Yeah, I guess there's a massive cock on season 2.
There is a massive cock. I saw the cock.
I mean, it's all right.
I started season 2.
Nothing like
You
mine,
see
but-
the cock. You see the cock in episode 1 of season 2,
All right.
and that's
I mean, Zara remembers it. You know, it's a good.
Yeah,
cock.
you know it's a good cock.
it's a fake cock though. I found out. I did some digging.
Dude,
It's-
see,
it
why
wasn't.
are they doing that?
It wasn't his actual.
What
cock.
was the other show a year ago?
Yeah,
the Netflix
yeah. What
movie
was?
with
That's
the
right.
massive
I forgot
cock.
about that.
What movie-
It's like
what?
same situation.
Yeah, same situation. It was a Netflix show that, dude, we had it to the pinpoint. It was like
Yeah.
episode 3, 1920,
Yeah.
and the thing is just a massive hog. But speaking of, I finished The Offer.
Yeah.
The Offer on Paramount Plus is really good. I think Paramount Plus originals are not getting talked about enough.
No, I mean they signed a major deal with Sheridan, so half the content's made by him.
Yeah.
I did see that Paramount Plus canceled the Workaholics movie, which
Yeah,
sucks.
I did see that.
I didn't
as
even
well.
know they were making one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 19 days before filming or something.
Yeah, they
Really?
they were literally like about to start shooting.
I still need to watch the Pitch Perfect spinoff with Adam Devine on
I
Peacock. It's
didn't
a
even
show.
see that.
Yeah, he's Thumper. It's 10 years later, and he realized that he's a massive pop star in Germany.
What?
Yeah.
I will definitely watch that. I love Adam Devine, so I will for sure watch that.
And the girl's the Sarah Hyland girl from Modern Family. She
Okay.
thinks she's the other big lead. And then the dude in Pitch Perfect 3, the main German dude,
Mhm.
is also
In
the
it.
third big character. I think it's only 6. I think it's a quick, easy watch. I still need to watch that show. Crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. HBO Max getting into sports. They're doing all of the U.S. men's and women's soccer games. And there's another sporting event that I can't remember that they're also going to be doing live coverage on. So they're jumping in the live sport game. And think that's it, boys. You got anything else you want to add?
No, I think we touched on
Yeah,
everything.
for everything that's going on. Anything you would like to say?
No, nothing off the top of my mind. I'm still kind of out of it.
Dude, I can't believe I fell asleep. I don't know what I literally was like getting tired reading that last thing and went and sat down and laid down and fucking woke up to you opening the door. Looked at my phone. I was like thinking about it. I was like, there's no way it's this time. It was like 5:30 already. I'm like, this is crazy. So yeah, follow me, Twitter, Instagram, @JuiceFisherman. Make sure to subscribe to the Juicebox Podcast on all the audio platforms and YouTube. And yeah, it's July. We're getting through it here. This is kind of a dull month. A lot
July?
January.
I was like waiting for there to be like
Yeah.
a joke, and then
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, he's serious.
Yeah. Hey, dude, both start with J's. January, dull, gray, is what it is. But we'll power through it. So thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, follow me on the socials, Twitter and Instagram @SithXPanda. And I guess I'll start streaming again soon, so be on the lookout for that.
I don't have any socials anymore, so
Tell them your Pornhub account.
my I can't disclose that information. It's a private account, but I don't know how we're gonna do this outro. Sith doesn't know it.
I don't know it. Oh,
Bye bye.
bye-bye.